Welcome back to another episode of Things We Didn't Fix. Now guys, it's a titty bit fucking nipply out there, so that's why I'm hanging out by the forge to keep warm. But don't worry, I'm here to bring you all the patch notes you need to know and you most likely don't care about. Now one thing I learned from last week's video is a lot of people really fucking hate this game. But a lot of people also really fucking love this game. And it's great to hear everyone's opinion on this game because you know what they say about opinions. They're like assholes, everyone has one. But like the great Dave Chappelle said, haters gonna hate, lovers gonna love. If you know, you know. If not, look that up. You won't regret it. Now, before we get into these notes, I just want to let each and every one of you know that I really appreciate all the support. And for those 3 people who always dislike my videos, they say your haters are your biggest fans, so I appreciate you too. Now, if you can hit that like and subscribe button, you'll get to hear my goofy ass every week. All right, let's get into this shit. Now, one exciting update I did kind of pre-read on here is that they fixed people's corrupted game save files, but they said that before and it didn't work. So if yours was fixed, let me know in the comment section. Greetings, lamp bearers. This week's update brings with it some critical crash fixes as well as improvements to multiplayer connectivity alongside the additional 40 tweaks and further stability and optimization. Please find full patch notes below. Critical crash fixes. Fixed an issue which has been preventing a minority, they say minority, I hear it's a majority, of you from accessing recent save files. Huge thanks to everyone for providing us their save games, which helped us track down the issue quicker. Multiplayer connectivity, another piece of garbage. Further improvements to increase matchmaking connectivity and prevent disconnects. And light we walk. Now multiplayer is my biggest issue right now. I can't do multiplayer. It's just terrible. Too much lag. You can't do PvP, so hopefully it's better. We'll see. All right, multiplayer. Increase the size of the invasion area near the kitchen of Mance of the Hollow Brother. Fixed an issue that caused the player character to switch back to the default stance after loading into a multiplayer session with two-handed stance. Adjusted the co-op partner indicator to be more consistent throughout the game. Fixed an issue where co-op partners and invaders could get stuck in Umbral assets when transitioning from Axiom to Umbral across the whole game. Fixed an issue that could cause players to disconnect from an invasion if the invading player would have loaded into an invasion in the same moment. Fixed an issue that could cause players to disconnect from a co-op session if 2 players tried to join the same session in parallel. Fixed an issue that could cause connecting players to disconnect immediately if the host triggered a pre-fight cinematic at the very moment. Fixed an issue that prevented players from reviving their co-op partner if the host entered a boss encounter while the co-op partner was dead outside of the arena. Fixed an issue that caused the hostile bucket lord to spawn invisible when entering the Sundered Monarch boss encounter with a co-op partner. Fixed an issue that prevented players from logging into multiplayer after a crash. This issue I actually seen. Fixed an issue where both players would receive General Engstrom's armor set in a co-op session upon winning the boss encounter. Nothing wrong with that. 2 birds, 1 stone. Leave that in. Fixed a rare issue that prevented players from using multiplayer services after termination of the game client. This fixes the issue where players saw the message unable to log in. The game client has been tampered with. Fixed an issue where the mirror could be used while a multiplayer session was established. Well, maybe they wanted a second opinion. What's wrong with that? Fixed an issue where Pieta's health bar would be displayed gray for the co-op partner under certain circumstances. So they didn't fix anything for PvP, I guess. It's just regular multiplayer, no PvP stuff. So it's disappointing. Next up, we have the Collision Coliseum. Fixed a collision issue that allowed players to reach inaccessible areas by jumping on top of the elevator in Mance of the Hollow Brother. Fixed a collision issue that could cause players to get stuck behind crystals next to the vestige of the Bloody Pilgrim. Fixed a collision issue that could cause players to get stuck in the spawn location at the beginning of the game if the game has been terminated during the introduction cutscene. Fixed a collision issue that could cause players to get stuck behind rocks at a specific location in Pilgrim's Perch. Fixed a collision issue that can cause players to get stuck by jumping off a cliff and landing on the wooden asset near the Scourge Sister boss encounter. Fixed a collision issue that can cause players to get stuck behind burning assets near the vestige of Sebastian. Fixed a collision issue that could cause players to get stuck behind the elevator in Bellroom. Next up, we got environment. Fixed an issue where unintended environment asset would be loaded in the boss encounter area with Infernal Enchantress. Fixed an issue where the player character could die from falling when trying to enter the Congregator of Flesh encounter from a lowered rock. Fixed an issue where the player character would spawn an umbral on an invalid platform, causing them to fall out of the game world in cistern close to the elevator in Upper Calrath. Fixed a collision issue that allowed players to skip the umbral puzzle and obtain the saintly quintessence near the vestige of Sfornil. Fixed clipping issues at the windmill near the vestige of Marco the Axe. Fixed an issue where players could see out of the world while in umbral at a specific location in Pilgrim's Perch. Fixed an issue where players could skip both umbral puzzles near the vestige of Lydia the Numb Witch. Fixed an issue where players could skip the umbral puzzles leading to the Hushed Saint. Next up, enemies. Adjusted the shockwave visuals of Mendacious Visage to be more in line with its actual damage radius. Fixed an issue where the raw mangler would sit down after approaching the player nearing the castle gate near Upper Calrath. Fixed an issue that caused the enemy to get stuck in falling animation in mines. Audio updates are next. Improved pass on audio of the spells Infernal Slash, Smiting Shield, Flame Funnel, and Lambent Feint. Also improved pass on audio of the Hush Saint, the Divine Arm spells, and on throwables dealing umbral damage, Greatsword impact sounds, Abbess Ursula, and the player character's attacks. All right, next we got UI. Fixed an issue where the health of umbral eggs were not displayed if they were not locking on. Fixed an issue that could cause the game to show an empty load game menu after quickly selecting different saves and switching back to the main menu. All right, next we have visuals. Fixed an issue where Mask of the Drowned would break the visual and physics of Hairstyle 16. Fixed visual glitches on certain visual effects and environments inside the Cathedral of the Empyrean. Next we have crashes. Fixed a rare crash that would occur during a boss encounter with, they blanked it out because of spoilers, but spoiler alert, it is Andres of Ebb. Fixed a rare crash that could occur when the invader left the multiplayer session while receiving a grievous strike. Finally, we have other. Fixed an issue that could cause the controls to become unresponsive when reviving at the vestige of Rannick. Fixed an issue where the lock-on mechanic didn't work on the umbral brill in the small church in Manse of the Hallowed Brother. Fixed an issue where boss weapon abilities would not work for co-op partners and invaders until the host rested. Minor adjustment to the player character's animation to prevent knee pop issues when using certain weapons and attack combinations. Fixed an issue where the Spirit of the Bleak Season would spawn damage in New Game Plus. Finally, in Light We Walk. So that's it, guys. That's everything. Hopefully, if anything, people can get back into their corrupted save files and you can continue to play the game. That seems to be the biggest fix that came out of this, but let me know in the comments if it worked for you guys. And as always, catch you on the next one.